A new Tampa Bay Business Journal hits newsstands today, and editor Alexis Muellner is here to talk about some of the week's big stories. Happy Friday. Good to see you.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, finally.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been talking for the longest about gun control, and the debate had been about allowing weapons on school campuses, but now that whole talk is moving into allowing guns in the workplace.
Well, our package is called Guns at Work, and our Director of News Operations, Pam Huff, did a great job on a package of stories. And she got there because she saw a Groupon in mid-January for concealed weapons permit training in Pinellas Park. A day and a half later, Groupon announced a national policy to not consider those in deference to the awful incidents that happened in Newtown, Connecticut. But she called the trainer, and he had 450 responses. It was a huge response. And so she started looking into that. What she found was that there was really an interest in gun owners to be more responsible, and at least that's what the folks who are training people are saying. And it turned into a package that looks at what are the issues around the workplace. And it turns out that a lot of folks in the office market and in office buildings are undergoing active shooter training. That's offered by the Department of Homeland Security, and that building owners are helping tenants with that kind of training. And so that's one of the issues. And then there are people who, like a real estate agent who we talk to, who investigates or has distressed assets, who oftentimes may not feel so safe, or people who work behind jewelry counters. So the story looks at some of the issues related to the laws related to where you can bring a gun if you have one to work, and it sort of skirts some of this very hot button issue, no matter where you stand on the gun control issue, which is a hot debate.
The developers of the 40-acre Encore development are regrouping after Publix had to pull out of the project. So where do they go from here?
Encore, very important project, downtown Tampa. There's been a lot of concern about where would a big grocer go. They really need it because of the residential development. The developers are regrouping, and a lot of concern. A lot of people are watching about, that kind of grocer going into that downtown area, in part because of the kinds of development that it spurs. Publix notorious for being an anchor tenant in key centers, and so that's another. We'll watch that very, very closely. But Encore continues to move along. There's housing that's already up and going, and it's in a key spot.
Though.
A bit of a setback.
All right. Well, let's talk about this new golf resort in the Bay Area that's on track to expand in hopes of capitalizing on the high-end players called alpha golfers. Tell us about that, and what in the world is an alpha golfer?
Right, alpha golfer. I'd never heard that term. It's folks who take 10 trips a year, go to different continents to golf. They spend $3,000. Streamsong is built by Mosaic, which has all this phosphate land in Central Florida. It's in Fort Meade. It's over an hour from the airport, and they've got their golf resort open, and it's starting to roll along, and it's swinging, no pun intended. But what folks in the industry said is this is a good sign. That the golf rounds in general have been a little bit off, and the fact that Streamsong, away from the main drag, it's on old phosphate land, and Mosaic built it to show reuse possibilities, is starting to attract this kinds of clientele. So it's already a bit of a success.
Fantastic. Always good to see you, Alexis.
Likewise to you.
And for more Business Journal news, go to abcactionnews.com/business.